Welcome back to Belinda's Justice. I'm Dr. Belinda Gale Quarterman Noah. Today we're going to take a deeper look at our case and discuss how situations like this are often evaluated. As a reminder, the individuals and events discussed here are fictional and presented for educational purposes. This program provides general legal information only and does not constitute legal advice. Let's return to the case. In our previous episode, we met an employee who had worked at a company for several years. After raising concerns about workplace practices, the employee noticed changes in communication with management. Documentation increased. Meetings became more formal. Eventually, the employee's job ended. From the employee's perspective, the timing raised questions. From the employer's perspective, the decision was based on legitimate concerns. Today, we will explore the kinds of evidence that might be examined in a situation like this. Looking back, what stood out to me most was how quickly things changed. Before raising my concern, conversations with my manager were straightforward. Afterward, interactions became more formal. Emails summarized every discussion. Small issues that had never been mentioned before suddenly became important. At the time, I didn't know what to make of it. But over time, it created the sense that something larger might be happening. Jordan, when those changes began, did anyone explain why the documentation was increasing? And did other employees experience the same type of communication? Those details can matter when situations like this are examined. From what I could tell, the change seemed directed mainly at me. That's why it stood out. If the entire department had been treated the same way, it might have felt different. But the change felt personal. From the company's perspective, the situation developed over time. Managers sometimes increase documentation when projects become more complex or when concerns arise. The goal is usually clarity. Organizations want a clear record of expectations and progress. The company believes the actions taken were appropriate. When courts examine disputes like this, they often look closely at the timeline. When did concerns first appear? Were they discussed informally before being documented? Did the documentation match the explanations given later? These questions help determine how events unfolded. Documentation can include many different types of records: emails, performance evaluations, project notes, and meeting summaries. Sometimes a single document may appear insignificant, but when many records are viewed together, they can tell a story about how decisions developed. That is why documentation is often central in employment disputes. Another important element in workplace cases is testimony from other people. Co-workers may have observed interactions. Managers may describe their decision-making process. Human resources personnel may explain company policies. These different perspectives help courts understand what occurred. When both sides present different explanations, courts often evaluate whether those explanations are consistent with the evidence. For example, do the documents support the employee's description of events? Do they align with the employee's experience? Are policies applied consistently? These questions guide the analysis. Timing is another factor that sometimes receives attention. If a major employment decision follows closely after a workplace complaint, people may naturally ask whether the events are related. However, timing may not be the only factor that determines the outcome. Courts may look for additional evidence that explains what happened. Situations like this can lead to different conclusions depending on the evidence. Sometimes documentation strongly supports the employee's allegations. In other cases, the evidence raises questions that require closer examination. The outcome often depends on the full record. Workplace disputes may be complex. Employees and employers may interpret the same events in very different ways. Communication, documentation, and consistent policies can all play important roles in how situations develop. Understanding these factors can help explain why disagreements sometimes occur. Now I'd like to hear your perspective. When communication at work changes suddenly, what do you think employees notice first? Documentation, meetings, tone? Your observations are part of the discussion. Thank you for watching Belinda's Justice. If you're interested in learning more about workplace law and how employment disputes are evaluated, consider subscribing for future episodes. For additional educational resources, you can visit beknowalaw.com. And remember, this program provides general information only and does not constitute legal advice.